on, everybody? It's Moto Wolf. I'm just getting out of class right now. I figured I'd record on my way home. Well, I've done my first successful week of having a schedule, a moto vlog schedule. I came out with the new channel art. I hope you guys like it. I'm working on a new banner, but for right now we have my logo. I'll put it up on the screen if you haven't seen it yet. Well, I guess we could talk about engine braking today. Oh shit, there's some shit happening over there. Yeah, we can talk about engine braking today. What I've seen and heard and what I've researched is that engine braking isn't bad for your transmission or your engine or anything. You know, if you do it correctly, just like anything, if you do it wrong, then I'm sure it's, you know, it can hurt something. But if you do it correctly, then it should be okay. Basically, what engine braking is instead of using my brake to brake, I just use my clutch, throttle, and transmission, and I just use the engine to slow down the bike. And then you just use your brakes at the very end. So here's the thing, right? When you're slowing down in their MSF course and stuff, if you're coming to a stop, you pull in the clutch and you shift all the way down into first, and you just clutch and brake your way to where you want to stop. Okay? Now, like, that's fine and dandy, but like, let's say you're approaching a red light, and then you're braking, you're all the way in first, and then it's green. Now you're in first, so if you were to let that clutch out and try to go, it's gonna be like, it's gonna slow you down a lot. And then well, let's see if these people. And so you're gonna be slowed way down because now you're in first and you were just in fourth or fifth, like whatever gear you were in, right? And so now you have one or two things. You can either be completely slowed down and be stuck in first and your RPMs will go sky high, or you can try to pull in the clutch and shift up a few times to try to get back into like a higher gear, so it won't be as bad of, you know, an RPM spike basically. And like, I've done that before, right? Where you're going to slow down and you shift all the way down to first, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, the light's green. Well, let's just shift back up into third or whatever it is, and then you let the clutch out and you can continue on just like you were normally doing, because that's, you know, the speed you were going. Which is great, but an easier way to do it would just to use the bike's engine to slow you down. And so you use each gear and the RPMs to slow the bike down. So you pull the clutch in, you give the throttle a little bit of rev, and then you let off, shift down one, and then you're trying, okay, let's not, cool. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to match the RPMs of when you flip the throttle to where your engine will start to brake. So I'll try to give you an example when we get up here. Okay, so we're going at 50, I let off, pull the clutch, rev it a little bit, and then I shift down as soon as I let it off. And then what it does is it uses the RPMs to slow you down. But that's why they call it rev matching or engine braking, or like literally whatever you want to call it. Because if you're rev matching, you blip the throttle a little bit to just get the RPMs to come up. So that way when you shift down immediately afterwards, the RPMs are almost at the same level. And then it'll start bringing itself down, which means it'll start slowing you down. And I don't know, I just do it because it's really convenient, and like, if I need to shift back up again, I'm only down one gear, or I'm only down, you know, like a little bit. So I don't know, I just think it's really effective, and it's better than just using your brakes all fucking day, because the brakes on this bike aren't the best. They're not, you know, fucking bimbo and steel braided lines and all this kind of shit. They're not that great, but engine braking definitely helps. So let's see, 40, 30, I'm not even hitting the brake. I'm literally just letting off the throttle and then using the engine to brake. So you hear, like, when the bike revs up like that, it's gonna start slowing you down. boy. Yeah, I think that's smoke from the fire, because the smog usually isn't that dark. That or we're all gonna get cancer and die, either one. Yeah, I don't know. Rev matching's great though. I use it all the time. Like literally anytime I have to slow down, I'm engine braking. Or rev matching, like literally whatever you want to call it. Oh wait, let's go a little faster in this corner. That corner is so much fun. Oh wait, what the heck? There's like people working in the road right here. This fool just slowed down the fucking mountain. It's so funny. And again, like if you were to just like cruising right now, right? And then all of a sudden I let off the throttle, I pull in the clutch and I downshift, the RPMs spike up, right? And you go from cruising to like, whoa, you slow way down, right? Which is good, but to make that slowdown less abrupt and more comfortable, that's why you use the engine or the throttle, and you flip the throttle a little bit, and that's what brings the RPMs up and makes it slow down a little bit more evenly. You know, like clutch downshift, and then it's like super high in the RPMs, and then it's trying to bring it back down, and it's just like it's a really abrupt like slowdown, right? Yeah, the rev matching, it helps that little issue go away. All you're doing is you're bringing the RPMs up around the same level, so that way it's not so big of an abrupt stop, basically. It's the best way I can describe it. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think I'm going to end this little episode here. If you enjoyed today's video, or found it helpful in any way, leave a comment down below and leave a like. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.